Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Try5 Guy, and this week we're still working on the VK Group A replica, and check out what we got done this week. Stick around. Okay guys, so I marked out and cut the hole for the AC unit to go in, and I just touch brushed around where I cut it. You know, obviously there's going to be exposed, you know, bare metal, so just got a bit of glue and touched it up. You're not going to see any of that from front of the back because the air conditioning, the rubber that's on the actual unit will come through that hole. I've got to stop using my fingers to point out stuff. But anyway, I've got a couple of spots I want to repair on this front guard. I tried cold shrinking it and using heat, but yeah, I don't have much success with that old school method. So I'm going to use what I'm used to, and that's a shrinking disc. This is a cheap Chinese knockoff of the ones you can get in the States. And basically it just uses friction and heat. There's a high spot there, so I can feel a high spot. And yeah, I can tap that down and try to tap that down with a hammer. And you can see it's created a low on both sides of this because this is pushed up, yeah, so it's going to pull the metal in from somewhere. So I'm going to shrink this down. This little spot here, and you'll see it once I go over it. It'll come up, and the heat will create warmth or heat, and then I quench it with a wet rag or spray bottle, even air. But I just use a wet rag, and it'll pull that high spot down where it's supposed to be. There's one there. There's this one here, and there's a massive low there. This was here already, and I've got another little one there, but I hammered that pretty good, and that's very, very close. And the rest of the front guard is good actually. So high, and a low, and yeah, like I said, that's good. And this is the original guard off the car. The other one's there, and you can, if you remember what it looked like from the very first video, that's what it looks like. So, and that's what that looked like. So we'll have a go at this one. This one's got a lot more heat damage, but apparently this is the rare guard to get. And we'll see how we go. I've knocked around a lot worse than that and got it pretty good. So let's start with that one over there though. All right, so got the aircon all hooked up through the firewall, screwed into place. Got the steering column in properly now, so that's in. Fuse box back into position. Start to put together the dash. Putting together the dash now. Everything is on as far as the heater and the air conditioning is all on, bolted in. Wiring getting put together. Dash is getting put together. Top dash is on. Just about to work on the driver's side now. This is pretty well set up now. Got the hoses all hooked up, the little pipes hooked up to the air conditioning unit there. So getting there, a lot of work, but yeah, like I said, we're getting there. It's going to look good once it's done. All the venting's done, all the vent piping's done, except for that side there, because I'm working underneath. Steering column's bolted in. Yeah, I'm going to put in the dash next, the actual fascia panel for the dash. The cluster, I'm going to put the cluster in next, get that all screwed in and finished off, and go from there and start working from underneath. You know, but yeah, no, looking good. Here's the VK SS. It's a genuine SS, but not a Group 3. It was, and he's got all the paperwork. It is factory fitted with the spoiler and the grill. That was a factory option. He's got the paperwork for that. And I'm just looking at it. Well, I've got it here to look at for you know, how the fuse box runs and all the wiring for the appropriate relays and whatnot. Also, I had that like a separate harness that went under the dash to the heater box. It was for the thermostat wiring. It's got two light green wires and a dark green, and I had no clue where that ran, but I found it. It went to the heater box, so this was handy for that. And over here, although I've put it all back together again, here it had the grey and a blue wire on top, and the other harness I can't find. It doesn't seem to be there, but pretty much I've got everything here, and I've taken off the bottom there. Yeah, pretty much finished the wiring in the other car, but I'm going to keep it all off so I can get to it and just move on with other stuff. We've got brand new carpet for the other car, so when I get to that stage we can put the carpet in, put the console in, but I want to make sure everything's done, as well as the speedometer cable. I want that done and in, but everything else is all done. The car is now an aircon car. I'm talking about, this is a factory aircon car, this wasn't. Here's a burnt out harness, but yeah, like on the ignition here, as you can see here, there's a grey and a blue wire, and the grey went to the top and the blue went to the bottom. Now this VK's got it, that one doesn't. I cannot find the blue wire for that car there. Absolutely, I cannot find where it is in that wiring loom. I'll keep looking for it, but it's not there. I mean, is that something different? I don't understand what's going on. On the other VK, I mean, this plug goes here, right? And I think this grey wire goes to the top here. And I'm saying that because the other VK has got a grey wire at the top and a blue wire here, but this harness doesn't seem to have it. Is that a 6-cylinder thing? I don't know. I don't know what the difference would be, why there isn't a blue wire for here. So I know these are for the brake light switch, which I'll be putting on today with the booster. I've got the fuse box all sorted out. Everything here is correct. That's all in the right position. I cleaned up all the lines here, fuel lines, the line for the charcoal canister. The booster's in, got a new master cylinder. The wiring's all been retaped, all to here, and over there as well, around here. All the dash is in. All the dash is in. AC is all hooked up, the bonnet pull cable is all connected. I'm waiting on the speedometer cable. I've got to put the glove box in and the lower shield, and then we're going to replace the carpet. That's the very last. I won't put the console in until we replace the carpet. So I don't want to get in and out of this car getting under the dash with the new carpet, so I want to make sure everything's under here, but it's pretty much all done now, and I'm very happy with it. It's gone from a non-AC to AC car. So yeah, I've got this is the number 4, goes outside the cabin. This is a bit hard, so I want to replace it, probably put a joiner in there, you know, like a plastic slide joiner, and then replace it out into the cabin. Right, I'll be back. I just want to note that the headlights are just sitting here, right? I know these are rusty. Obviously, we're trying to find new ones, but non-existent. You can get them from VB to VC, VK, VH. Can't find them. Then, you know, VN on, you can find them, or sorry, from VL on, you can find them. But VH, VK, I can't find them. So these got genuine lenses on them, and they're still in pretty good condition. So I don't know if we're going to go aftermarket housings with new clips and then put the glass on it. It might be an option. These are aftermarket, so we might have to do that. Got the K-member all powder coated, the arms and stuff, so I'm going to put all that back together and, you know, get it all put back together and stick it back into the car. Just waiting on some bolts. They've got the speedo cable coming today. Put that in so I can finish off the dash. So first things first, finish off the front end, get that all built, and slip it back underneath the car, hook up all the struts, and you know, put all the brakes back on, brand new brakes, rebuild calipers, yeah, and get it back on the ground rolling again in the next few hours to tomorrow. That's how they did them in GMH, right? With a jack. Okay, so the cross member's in. Looks pretty good in there, all nicely powder coated. The arms, the tension rods, The tension rods are on too. I haven't done the tension rod bolts up tight yet. They're to a torque specifications. I want to get the whole front loaded with the struts in before I do all that. You know, final sort of tightening up of all the bolts to the specifications. So I'll do that last with as far as the torque rods there. Next, I'm going to put on the front struts. They're loaded already. Springs already been fitted, so I'll fit them in. Both sides, get them on, then probably the rack and then sway bar, and that'll probably tie up all the underneath. Then I'll start assembling the brakes, calipers, which the calipers are rebuilt. I rebuilt them last week, so I'll get that done. Anyway, I'll be back, guys. All right, both struts are fitted. Pretty easy, self-explanatory. I mean, there's only one way really they go on. Yeah, so now I'll just put on the rack, get that mounted into position, and obviously the sway bar. Then I'll work on the front rotors and calipers, brake lines. Yep, I'll get to it. Okay, got all the rack and pinion bolted in. Got it all bolted in up there too. Yeah, it looks good. I'm going to start on the brake hoses. I've also got some power steering lines here for it. Yeah, some power steering lines, put them in, but I'll put the brake hoses on next, I think. Alright guys, I've got the sway bar all mounted in, polyurethane suspension bushings in there, all new ones from Pedders. So I've got this side on, all this side completely done. So disc, new bearings, rebuilt calipers, new brake hoses, just everything all done, nice and tight. And I'm going to start on this side now. So yeah, assemble that, put the wheels on, and then put the car back on the ground for the first time since we pulled it apart. So that'll be interesting. In here I've got the crossover power steering hard line that'll go across the cross member over to this side, and it sits on here, these two screws. So that'll go on today as well. And there's also a low pressure line that goes across here to there, and it also goes to over here. And that coincidentally, that's where the pump sits. So that's going to go on. There's also an AC line that goes over here to the dryer, and then I think one that crosses over like this to the air conditioning on this side. Obviously this will go to the condenser through here, across here, and that one there will go to the pump. So yeah, that's got to be done. Just trying to get all this sort of stuff. I'm just trying to get everything all in. That's, you know, like going to be tricky to get to if the engine was sitting in here. That includes those bastard sort of hoses that go on the firewall. They're a nightmare to get on and off with the engine in place. So I'm going to put them in and just tuck them away to the side, so when the motor goes in, it'll be easy. I'm going to put in the squirter motor for the windshield wipers. We're going to put the wipers in yet as well, but that's not really stopping. Got the cover back on for the fuse box, as you can see. Got the caps over the struts. I'm sure you can get these new, but they cleaned up all right. So yeah, let me get this organised. Okay guys, I just threw some interceptors on it just so we can roll it around while the Group A rims are getting refinished. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in this line here for the power steering, get that all cleaned up and put back in on the new Speedo cable. Got this from Castlemaine Rod Shop. Here's the old one that was burnt, and here's the brand new one. So brand new Speedo cable going back in. I can hook it up now. I can finish off the dash once that's done, so that'll be good. Yeah, all right, I'll be back. Okay guys, starting to get really busy in the engine bay now. I put the power steering line on. I bolted it up, did it up at the rack end, so that's ready to go on the booster. I pulled through the vacuum line. That's the one I'm going to join with the other one because it was hard and cracked. I could replace the whole lot with another vacuum line, go through the dash, or I can just put a little joiner in, which I'll put it under the dash, no big deal. I put one heater hose on and I'll put the clamp on, because to get to that after the motor's in, it's a bit of a nightmare, so I don't want to screw around with that. I've got to extend these wires, looking for a good schematic, because I can change it from this how it was on a 6-cylinder and make it a V8. I think it's just extending wires. So I know there's people online that sell them, but hey, they're just people like me. I can make it, they can make it, so I'll do it, save money there. And put the air conditioning line on, cleaned it up. The one that goes, eventually goes to the condenser. So, well, it goes to the bottle and then the dryer, and then it goes to the condenser. So I put that part on, and then there's one that goes underneath here to the condenser. Yeah, so that's getting all done there. So looks good. Waiting on the new headlights to come in. We're just getting reproduction headlights for the backing plates and the clips, and we're putting the original Holden lenses into that. So going to clean them up, put them on. It's already got aftermarket indicators on it. Yeah, then we have to do something about the wiring from there. That goes to all the, the starter and all that sort of jazz. We're going to put in the panel over there that covers that. We're going to clean up these light covers there. Horns connected. That's all on. Next week, we're going to start working on the body, on the front guards and stuff, and I'll show that in a second. Got most of the dash put together, well, pretty much all of it, except for the touchpad. The touchpad's not in, but pretty much all on. I've got to put this vent on. Everything's all done up. Got the shroud around the column. That's all on. All back together, and obviously all the aircon stuff is on as well. We've got a brand new master cylinder. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that. Bottle. So yeah, she's coming up. She's coming up pretty good now. Obviously, it's rolling, as you can see, and yeah. No, it's getting there now for sure. I'll be back, guys. Hey, I forgot to add that we put the decals on. We put them on the shock tower. The brake booster, there's a few more that's going to go on. There it is there, PBR. Apparently Groupe's had them there and on the back here. But that's where he wanted them, so that's where he put them. So they're on. ID tags are on. So they're all on the car too now. Hey guys, here's the front guard, off the car actually. So it had a few high spots through here, and I use, when it's got high spots, I don't use heat. I use a shrinking disc. So to get all the highs down, it had a massive low spot here. So I did eventually, I did use heat, and I hate doing it. And so we just ordered a shrinking disc. It's a knockoff of the ones you get in America, but it worked good. And I've still got to flip that around, so I'm gonna still. I don't have any body working equipment here. It's all at my brother's, so I'm gonna go there and grab that, and I'll get these a little bit better. But they're all now, they're not low. Sorry, now they're not high anymore. They're actually a little bit low, but I'll flip them up and play around with them. Got these. There was a series of highs here and here too, so got all them. This back of the guard's good, so I'm going to re-sand this guard. I'm going to sand the inside, and I'm going to get this in epoxy, and I'll start doing repairs to that tomorrow. So yep, got all the brackets for the bumpers all painted again, nicely painted. One there. So working on the front guards, got them all stripped down to metal, inside and out. There's the other one. That's almost ready for, well, they're ready, just about ready for epoxy, and I've got all some dints out of them. And over here, I'm still working on this. There was a big high spot here, and I use a shrinking disc to get highs out and just work it, flip it up, flip it down where it's got to go. Got that pretty good now, and working on this front area. Now, it would have been heat that buckled this area here, but it's actually not bad. As you can see, I'm working this up as we go with my dirty hands. So I had a high spot here, low spot, high spot, low spot, and a bit of a high here with this funny shaped thing is here. Almost got this right, just a low on and a high there and a low on here. So So like I said, you can see where I'm starting to flip this up, and I'll just keep working this till I get it pretty close. And I don't mind a little bit of filler. You can metal finish it if you want. If you want to spend 12 hours on a couple of guards, no worries, go for it. But I don't mind filler. If it's done right, it's fine. It will never come off. So anyway, working on the front guards. The bonnet's over here. The donor bonnet. Yeah, it's got a few dents in it, but there's no rust anywhere in it. But it's just got, you know, surface rust and stuff, but no, you know, through rust at all. So I'm going to strip that next as well. So all this for the remainder of this week or starting next week, it'll be all body work. So I want to get the guards, I want to get these guards in primer on the car and get the bonnet pretty close to ready so we can bolt it up to that. In primer, I'm going to assemble the car, and we've got this here today because I'm just working on the front bumper as well. It's the HDT spoiler, and we're just getting that sort of fitted. We've got to cut through here and through here. This is pretty well flush, and this one here is about 30 mil up from there. It's so that will clear and fit properly into here. 30 millimeters from the bottom of this line to the top of the bumper. That's what it's on this. So we're just gonna copy whatever this is, the cutout in the front. This was done by HDT, so it's all original. So we're gonna just copy that and then transfer it over to that one. So that's it. Yeah, that'll be next week, guys. But thanks for watching the video. And don't forget, guys, next week it'll be body work. So please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching, and thanks for all the comments that I've been getting, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked about it. So yeah, see you next week.